Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty and today I have for you a double page layout based on the Counterfeit Kit challenge to scrapbook your actual ephemera. Now scrapbooking ephemera is pretty tricky for me because I don't save a lot of that kind of stuff, and so I was going through my photos and I actually found from my daughter's birthday back in February the receipt we had from getting fancy sushi, which is what she requested for her COVID birthday party. Instead of having friends and family over for a big celebration and feeding everybody, we decided to go ahead and splurge on some really nice sushi and celebrate her birthday that way. So she was able to enjoy the day despite not being able to hang out with anybody. I am creating my double page layout with my Counterfeit Kit, and if you don't know what that is, I will leave you links for info and also on my kit build project. And I am running low on pattern papers in my kit, so I'm having to really piece together bits to create this double page layout. So I have a camera print from Chamel, I have kind of a confetti, dark blue confetti print, and I'm trying to decide what else to fill in with these other prints as well as that green striped print. And I do find just a simple grid in that kind of teal color, and I decide that that's going to work, and I want all the heavier patterns off to the left, and then I will use the teal pattern as more of a calming neutral that will span across the middle of the double page spread. So I am trying to get all these small pieces pieced together and have the math work out correctly. So I have my glass cutting mat down where I can just lay everything against the guidelines and get things glued down. For the second page, I kind of put my first page up above and use that as a guide to get all my other pieces, and then I trim off a little bit from the tops and bottoms because trying to get all these papers to line up exactly is, you're just not going to get there. So know that you'll probably have to trim a little bit off if you're trying to piece all these together. And that works out for my double page base, and I did do the opposites of the pattern paper on the left and then on the far right. And then I know I'm going to build the design of this based on a visual triangle, so I cut apart those journaling cards from a sheet of stamp market paper, and I start placing everything down so I can get that triangle going on. I know I want to use one of them as a pocket to tuck my receipt in there, and then I'm going to use one for actual journaling, and then one will be a title placeholder. And I do kind of play with the placement a little bit and then settle on a final design. And I know because there's a lot of color on the left and right hand sides of the pattern papers on this spread, I want to bring in a little more color, so I'm going to underline my title. And despite having a lot of letters on my sticker sheet left, I did not have the letters I needed, so I will be doing a lot of letter alterations here, and you can see some of those letters are very wrong, but in the end I get them altered and I am able to finish up my title and move on from there. I'm going to go ahead and get all my photos in place. I do kind of group the photos that have a connection with each other together. My daughter got that green frog hat from my other daughter for her birthday, and so that's why I went with the big green stripe as part of this design, because it worked well with her hat. I am going to create these little tab pulls to be able to pull out that receipt from the pocket. I did glue the pocket down with wet glue, liquid glue, just around the edges so that it will create the pocket. And I'm going to let it dry before I stick that receipt in there because I don't want it to actually accidentally get stuck to any oozing glue. And then I want to give my photos on the right hand side more of a mat. Now I don't have enough pattern paper to create a mat, so instead I'm going to use the same bold colored paper that I used for my title to encase my photos, bracket my photos, that kind of thing, without having to fully mat them. And so that also draws the design across the two-page layout, and that is working for me. Now I know I want a little bit more interest to this layout, so each grouping of photos is going to get its own number with a little tab of a bit of detailed journaling for that grouping of photos. So that number 1 will talk about the hat that she got as a gift. And then the number 2 will talk about how she chose just to have ice cream and no cake for her birthday, since it seemed easier that way. And then the grouping number 3 will talk about the kinds of sushi that she likes versus the rest of us. So again, here I didn't have enough number 3s in my stash, so I just altered some number 8s to make those work as number 3s. And I find myself altering alphabet letters more and more these days as my stash of stickers is starting to dwindle. And I have a hard time wanting to buy more because I just know that so many of them end up getting thrown away. So I guess that's part of the process of scrapbooking, although I am trying various solutions to that, and so far none of them have stuck, so I will keep working on it. At any rate, here I am starting to build up a little bit of embellishing, and I will mostly embellish those 3 journal cards as my embellishment clusters, as well as my visual triangle, and I will add a tiny bit of embellishment to each of those numbered zones on the photos, and I do have to search a little bit through my little die cut pack to find things that work just right for each photo. And luckily I manage that. I get something appropriate for each zone. And then I do keep the little theme of the houses running throughout each area because we were stuck at home, just like so many other people were for birthdays this past year. And so that pretty much finishes off this layout. It's not too complicated, but it has a very solid design, and I managed to use up lots of smaller pieces of pattern paper to create a 2-page layout. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please go ahead and leave them for me because I will get back to you. And then on Wednesday, I will be back with the SCT Sampler Kit unboxing and project, so I hope you will join me then. I'll see you next time.